Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you how I've made this very cute card. This is using the 5x7 moving scenes die set along with the North Pole, the workshop stamp and die set. You pull the tab here and you'll see your characters move. Very, very sweet. So let's get started. So this is the 5x7 moving scenes set that I'm going to be using along with the North Pole stamp and die set. So I've already gone ahead and cut everything. So I've got a top folding 5x7 card blank here, and then I've cut the frame die here, and I've used this time this lovely holographic cardstock here, and you can see you've got that lovely detail around the edges. So that's going to sit onto the front of the card. And then this one here, because this time I'm using it with the papers here. These are the new moving scenes. It's the Snowfall paper pack. So you've got a really nice selection of colours there. I've gone for the blue, and because it's just a paper, I've cut it again in cardstock. So this die here, so just cut it in the pattern paper and then cut it in a white. This is like a 300 GSM, so nice and strong. Stick them together. And just make sure that the glue doesn't interfere with these pieces here. You need them to all be open like so. I've then stamped my sentiment using the Christmas sentiments here, and I've gone for wishing you lots of fun and laughter this Christmas. I've then cut myself this pull tab here. I've cut it twice just to make it nice and strong, and I've also cut the arrow in black, and that's going to go underneath. And then I've cut the main circle here with the holes, and then I've cut my paper brad and then the disc here, and that's going to hold everything together. And then this time I'm using acetate, so I've cut this piece, so I've got my 3 acetate strips for everything to be moving on. But I think I'm going to cut it again because I might have a few more on this one. Okay, so I've just cut that again, so now I've got 6 strips. So that's everything you need. You also don't have to have 3 or more. You could just have 1 thing moving, or 2. You don't have to have something coming out of all of the slots on this piece. So now we can start putting it together. So take your paper brad and just fold back those pieces like so, and this is going to go through like so and then open up. And then if you just take some glue and just add a little bit onto those tabs there, and then place this circle over the top, and just make sure that this can move. You don't want any glue sticking, so you want to make sure that this big circle can move around and that middle will stay in place. Okay, now you want the positioning of this so that you have the 2 small circles at the bottom. Okay, the brads that you're going to need are the 5mm, and it doesn't matter the colour because you're not going to see any of them at all. So I've been using a lot of the blue ones because I seem to have tons of those. So I'm going to take the pull tab, and you're going to attach this to this one here. So you've got your 2 together, it's this one on the right. So just sit that over and just pop your brad through. Okay, so this is how it's going to be behind this piece here. Okay, so now we can connect these pieces. So if you've got just the 3, then you'll have 1 in this one, 1 in that one, and 1 in that one. If you're just doing 2, it's up to you what 2, and if you just want 1, it's up to you which one. Depends where you want, like I said, that piece to be moving. But because I've got 6, thinking I'm going to have 2 things moving on each slot, so I'm going to put 2 together there, and then pop my brad through like so, and then pop them through here. And then again, I'm just going to repeat that with the others. So it should be something like this. Like I said, you might have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 of these strips attached. And you'll see that in the tutorials I'm sharing. The first one just had the 3. I'll do one that just has maybe 2, and so on. So just look at the playlist and you'll get some more inspiration there. So what I suggest you do now is start to decide on your layout, how you want this all to look. So I've got all of these pieces that I've stamped, I've cut, and I've coloured from that stamp set. And I'm just going to loosely start placing things down. And I need to decide on 6 things that I want to move. So I've just stuck those down. I'm just going to flip this over and just trim off the overhang there. Okay, so I'm happy with those 2, and then I'm just going to start playing around with the rest of this. Right, I think I'm going to go for this layout, and I'm actually going to have 5 things moving, not 6, just because I'm running out of space. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things moving there. Apologies if you can hear some snoring. It's my dog. He's literally just off camera just there. So I'm going to have those ones, and then all the little presents and things I'm going to add in a bit more. So I'm not going to have anything coming out of this top one. I might end up using that because that can just sit quite nicely there. Actually, that fills that space. So I'm going to take a quick photo of that just so I know exactly where I need everything to be. And now I know I need 2 of these to come out through the middle and 3 to come out of the bottom. And I'm going to take off one from this top one here, because I'm not having any coming out the top, but the other one can go through the middle quite easily. But I'm just going to remove. So something I should have done, but it's good in the way that I've left it in because it's easy to rectify. But you want the solid circle on the top, so you want this piece on the front. But if you've done like I have, then just add a little bit of glue onto just the paper brad. Don't get the glue anywhere else, like so. Just cut another solid circle and just stick it over the top. So everything can still move underneath the way it should, but this is, you're going to add some foam onto here, and you want more of a surface to be able to add your foam to. I'll just give that a second to dry. So again, just check that that all moves whilst you hold the middle circle or the paper brad. So now you want to take some foam, and you're going to stick it on the top here, like so. And I recommend you double it up because you need it to be all higher than the brads. So I'm just going to pop another piece on top. Okay, so with your pull tab on your right hand side, don't worry about the position of these just yet because you'll be sorting all that out in a minute. But you want to have it so that this is in the middle and at the bottom, and this is off to the right. If you take this one here, your matte layer, bring it down, you want to line up your pull tab with the edge of that, and then hover this over the top. This needs to fit within the dots there, the detail or the border. So I can see that this just needs to come down just a smidge. So this is nice and parallel. But that there now looks pretty good. So I'm just going to hold that in place, take the backing off of that one. Again, just kind of hover that over and then let it grab on to the foam, like so. So don't worry about it all moving now, but that is fixed now where we need it to be. Now you can do a little test. You'll see when you pull this, can you see that movement that you get? And that's what's going to allow everything to, all your pieces to move. So I'm going to have that one, just slide it under there, like so. And then I'm going to have this one under there. And then I'm going to have that one. It's up to you. It makes sense when I flip it over, and once you decide, what it is you're going to have moving around. So I've got 3 all underneath this bottom slot here. And then these 2 that are left are going to go under this one here. So, okay, so now when you flip it over, so I've got my 3 on the bottom, 2 on the top. And as long as they all move, because you're going to add foam and you'll kind of direct where you want them to stay, but they're all moving really nicely. Okay, so these are all the bits that I want to move. So he's going to be there. So I'm just going to use some red tape because I'm using acetate. If you're using just cardstock for your strips, you can just use your liquid glue. But I'm just going to add a little bit of tape there. I'm just going to attach these all onto the strips in the position that I want. Okay, so they are now all in position. So now what we need to do is you want to kind of hold it like so, flip it over, and now you want to add your foam on the back. But where you add your foam will also act as a track for all of the pieces to stay kind of in the positions that you've got them. So all of this here, there's nothing in the way of this. So I'm just going to push that all back into its kind of slot and just add my foam over here. So every single one will be different, but hopefully with the tutorials that I'm sharing, it will give you lots of, you know, inspiration. Now with these ones, I want them to just move up and down in this kind of area here. So I'm going to add some foam here because I don't want them to kind of go too far off that way, and I'm going to add some foam there. And then I don't want these ones to come right off down here, so I'm going to add some foam here, but I'm also going to use this to act as a track to keep my tab in place as well, my pull tab. So I think that's going to be fine there. And you would want something to support that corner as well, and also the bottom of the pull tab, just to kind of, again, keep it in place. I'm just going to take that piece off there, stick that down the bottom. And then this one here, I'm going to stick in the corner, like so. And now you want to double that up because you've got this dimension here, so you need it to match the height of your mechanism. I'm actually going to add one between here because I want to keep those two separate from each other. I don't want them overlapping into each other's space too much. And I can pop a support there as well. There is dimension with these, there always is with my cards, but I've got box envelopes. This will probably still work in a bouncy envelope as well. I've got all those on my other channel, so I will link those for you. Keep that tab in that track there. I'll just kind of hold that together there and then flip it over. And now just focus on your frame and getting everything lined up. Okay, so now we can trim off anything behind your characters. Okay, you can see they're all moving there. Once we build up everything around it, they look really cute. We just need to make sure they stay apart. Okay, so now fill it with all the other decoration that you've got. So that's everything stuck down. I added a bit more as well, as you can probably tell. And again, if I just pull there, you can see how they all move. This one is a bit more complex. You do need to kind of move things around and, you know, make sure everything has that room to move. But once it's all in place, it does look really cute. So then I'm just going to add my glue onto the back of this piece here. And then attach that to my 5x7 top fold. You can pop it on a side fold as well, it's entirely up to you. And then I just want to add a little shine to this. I know I've got the shine from the holographic card, but I'm just going to use my accent glaze, and I'm just going to go over like a few of the presents, the street lights, all the little windows and the houses and stuff, and just add a little bit of shine to that. If you're working on very small images like this, if you just squeeze a little bit of the glaze out onto the table and just use my pickup tool there, and you'll be able to easily apply it to all those very, very small areas. And there's the finished card. You can see that lovely shine from the accent glaze and from the holographic card. And then now when I pull my tab, all my characters move. It's such a fun style. I've thoroughly enjoyed making this card, and I hope it's just given you some inspiration on how to use this set with the 5x7 size. But you don't even have to use the stamps on a moving card. They look lovely on lots of other card styles as well, whether they're my past collections or things you might already have in your stash. Coming up now will be other tutorials using these die sets. So if you want to go and watch those next for some more inspiration. And if you've enjoyed today, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't done so. And that way you won't miss out on any future videos. See you all again soon. Bye.